Okay, this is the Vlookup tutorial. It's going to teach you how to display text or create a formula without having to type it. Okay, so all you're going to have to do is put in a code, and if you click here on this code right here, I've conveniently made you a drop-down list with lots of numbers which are represented right here. So instead of having to write down the title of these old games, you just put in a code and it automatically puts the number in for you. Okay, so let's get started. Alright, click on the top cell, equals Vlookup. You can double click on that auto predict and it'll put it in for you. And it gives you this little example of how it needs to be laid out. And the first one is lookup value, which is which cell are we checking. Okay, in this case we want this one here, which is where we put our number code, and that's D6. Okay, next it's going to ask us for a table array, which is where are we looking, where's the data that we're trying to get, and that is over here. So we're going to include the code, Super Mario, and we're even going to include this game type here. So just highlight that whole thing. That's our table array, and we want to make sure that that is in dollar signs, absolute cell referencing. So in between the L and the 5, and in between the N and the 13. Okay, that'll make sure it doesn't move later on when we copy our formula down. Okay, and now the next one is column index number. Okay, so the way this works is just sequentially from left to right. So this is column 1, this is column 2, this is column 3, and if we had more, it'd just keep going to the right. Okay, so in this case we want column index number 2 because we don't want it to display the same code. We want to display the game name. Okay, so we're going to write number 2. And last of all we have false and true, and they tell you right there, if you want an exact match, write false. If you want an approximate match, write true. We always want exact. Click on false. Okay, and press enter. Okay, now nothing's happened because we haven't put in the value. So let's just type in number 2, and there it is. There's the text we wanted. If we change that to 6, that'll change the title there. Alright, copy the formula down by clicking on the bottom right hand corner, drag it to the bottom, and let's just apply some numbers. I'm not even going to use my drop down, just going to type it in. There we go. So all of those formulas obviously work, but now we've got game type. Okay, and we can't be bothered going over here and checking each one, so we're just going to make another VLOOKUP formula just like we did before. Okay, but this time we're going to change it from column number 2 to column number 3, which is the game type. So instead of typing that out again, we're just going to highlight our previous one, copy that, press escape, and then click on game type and paste it up here in the formula bar. And we're still looking for the number, but in this case we want it to be column number 3 instead of number 2. Now press enter, and what do you know, that one works too. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, that was pretty easy. What I want you to do is do the same thing again, but in this column right here. Okay, so try and remember what I've shown you. If you can't, just re-watch this video, and once that's done, save your work and move on.